So this is a mod that adds additional tiers to the Ultra Juggernaut. Not just a 6th tier, not just a 7th, or an 8th, or a 9th, but up to 12 tiers. Yes, that's right. Stay tuned to see exactly how powerful it is. Before that, we must farm up to that Ultra Juggernaut and its later tiers. And of course, shouts out to Cosmic for the mod. I should have mentioned that for this additional tier on the Ultra Juggernaut, I don't need just money to unlock it, but I also need pops. But that's once I get the Ultra Juggernaut, so it's kind of similar to a Paragon that way, but you'll see what I mean exactly. And from what I've seen, this thing might get crazy really, really fast. So especially on a map like Cornfield, where I've picked one, of course, that works well with Ultra Juggernaut. So let's just say that its cost efficiency may be pretty off the charts, as with, you know, a lot of modded stuff. Balance is not always of the utmost importance. Some like to prioritize damage over anything else, so just a warning. So first step here is, of course, to get the Ultra Juggernaut, which I'll even sell a farm for, because once I buy this, you'll notice that there is now a percentage. And actually, I kind of didn't need to buy this right away. You'll see that the percentage actually correlates to the pop count of the tower. So to unlock the Omega Juggernaut, you need 100,000 pops, as you see. I wasn't sure, so I thought it started counting right when you got the U-Jug, but that's nice to give you an 11,000 pop head start. I'm not sure that once you get the Omega Juggernaut, how much stronger it is to the Ultra Juggernaut, because, like, yeah, it's like a free upgrade. All you need are pops requirements, unlike the Paragons, where, well, you still need to come with, you know, the 300 plus K for it. Might as well rush it as early as possible at this point. That even includes, you know, selling Sada, just to give an outbuff too. Pretty sure on this map, U-Jug can solo mobs, probably even BFEs. As you see, outbuff makes it go pretty ham. And now 99.53%. I think after the start of 9865, and after a couple of zebras here, we will have gotten it. So let's watch it transform, folks. There it is, the Omega Juggernaut. And if I click off of it, there's actually a new panel that shows up right in the corner here, so you can see all the stats. Pretty cool UI, not gonna lie. Omega Juggernaut tier 6. And it tells you the amount of damage, range, and SPA that it has. SPA standing for seconds per attack. So no, it doesn't stand for how many seconds it can stay in a SPA. But anyways, you can see that to upgrade to tier 7, you only need $30,000. And this tells you what you get for the next tier. So that is the reduction in speed is down to 0.65 and plus 15 damage. So that's 2.5 times more damage times the attack speed, which is probably closer to 3 times. And for some reason, I can't see any buffs on the monkey, but I do see the Alchemist throwing on it, so I can only assume that buffs still work. Oh yeah, and did I forget to mention that you also get triple shots along that, so it might be closer to, I don't know, 9 times the damage. Kind of crazy for only 30k, but I guess we'll see. Obviously, I'm still not struggling, so we're just gonna go with the flow. And yes, this is gonna be a Juggernaut only solo, Omega Juggernaut only solo. I'll just go ahead and get a Carpet Spikes, or sorry, not Carpet Spikes, but a Perma Spike in back. Just that in the event that this thing loses, I don't actually quote-unquote lose. But yeah, I think damage is pretty much all that provides. Let's see how much damage it's doing per shot. Actually, I guess Single Turret's still pretty weak. Seeing I want to break the shell here, but yeah, as you know, Ultra Juggernaut excels at low tier or weak Bloons, weak Moabs. So no surprises here. Looks like round 87 might be the time where I gotta get something. Close, close. Yeah, I think it might just be about time, folks. Did anything hit the Peace Spike yet? Actually, not yet, not yet. The balls still have a good amount of things to hit up there. There are the first pops, 29 of them. I think I'll still keep it because it's not too much. Maybe once I start seeing a lot more leak, like, how about 95? Yeah, we got a whole DT going through. Or maybe that was just a bad bounce, because you see right now, it's doing a lot better. Yeah, solo's 95. Well, I say solo generously, because again, I still have 2 buffs on it. Maybe it's worth selling them. I wonder if this thing has, like, cam protection, because I'm not sure if this takes into account the previous crosspath that you had. As you can tell, there's no more crosspathing. I guess I could test pretty easily just by selling the village, the Camo Village. Secondary balls also put in a lot of work there. They were the first mobs that reached the P-Spike. Okay, I think for 98, though, it's time. Let's get tier 7. No visual change, but you see the stats here, and you can also see the next tier doubles the damage from 25 to 50. The speed goes to 0.4 seconds now, and it also gets an Amethyst boost. Not sure what that is, but it's probably a good one. But yeah, here we go. That is indeed 3 times the U-Jug balls. It still shoots out the normal mini Juggernaut balls. Actually, I think there's 3 different layers to it. Like, the big Omega Juggernaut balls shoot out Ultra Juggernaut balls, which then shoot out the normal You know, so that loops 2 times. Let's see DDT. So, yep, it has cam protection, so I guess there's no need for the village. Yeah, I'm just gonna ditch it entirely, because honestly, do I have any of the outcomes actually? Yeah, let's just sell it. Let's go pure solo now. Let us take a look at the bad single target damage too. Looks like each shot does about, I mean, it's hard to tell because again, it's mixed in along with all the other balls doing damage, but I'm seeing about nearly 1,000 DPS. So again, despite the sheer amount of balls, it's still not good enough, I think, for even around 100 bad. Yeah, it stopped attacking. The range is pretty weak. Guess we'll just let Permaspike tank it. I assume this thing still works like other towers, as in you can, you know, Chinook it and all that. Let me just see. Yep, yes you can. Perhaps it's something I'll need to do if anything leaks to the exit, but ideally not. Also, next upgrade's 55k. I actually completely forgot to farm because I thought, looking at these prices, they didn't look too expensive, but just to be safe, I should have got this Wall Street like 50 rounds earlier, but that's fine. It's never too late, especially since I think the tier 7 still has like at least 13 rounds in it. Again, basically anything that's not a bad is very easy for it. I say that as 107 actually is a bit of a struggle. I feel like it needs a bit of range. This next upgrade still does not give any range. Yeah, it stops attacking and then it just leaks all those F-mobs there. That's not good. Actually, the blowback. I just realized the Chinook is helping us. It's blowing some surrounds back, which allows it to shoot some more, and then allows some balls to reach the exit. That's kind of a nice synergy. Unintentional, but like watch this again for round 111. Stops attacking. Permaspike pops it, and then this blows them back. And that allows it to clean up a little bit of this ramps there. If I'm doing the math correctly, the stats equate to about a 3.5 to 4 times boost to the Omega Jug. Obviously, that's not counting the Amethyst boost, so let me just go ahead and get it. Well, let me wait for this pad to get in range first, and then get it to see what this Amethyst does. So, oh, yep, that basically adds another layer. So, as you see, the old colored balls are still there, but the new sprite has changed to the 4th tier of Juggernaut Ball. These balls are getting bigger and bigger, and there is nothing to stop it. I'm not sure how many... Well, I do see, like... I would assume it actually shoots out 3 of the, what do you call it? The previous tier's balls. Although, let me see if I can see this carefully, yeah. It actually shoots out 3 of these at a time, I think, right? The yellow and purple one. Yeah, it looks like it, and then that spawns 3 of its own, and then 3 of its own, so definitely more than a 3.5 times boost, probably closer to, I'd say a bit over 10. And let's take a look at the next tier. Still no range, just pure, raw attack speed and damage. Just what I like, you know? Down with pierce and range, up with damage and attack speed. Just like those Ascended upgrades that I never buy pierce and upgrades and range for. Also, this thing adds quad shots. I'm pretty sure that's not 4xing the 3 that's already thrown, just adds an extra projectile. This actually seems like the weakest stepping stone percentage-wise. It's only plus 25 damage and minus 0.07, so it's close to like 2 times damage raw at the quad shot. So I assume it goes from 3 to 4. That's about like, what, 2.5 to 3 times total DPS increase, regardless. Currently good enough to be at 129. I can kind of already see the leg getting a little bit crazy. If we go up another tier, I would assume the tier 9 doesn't, because tier 6 and 7 stayed the same. I think if it went up another level after every tier, my game probably wouldn't exist by the time we got to tier 10, so that's good. Okay, now for the round 140 F-bet. I'm actually not sure about how this will do. I'm seeing about 5... I'm looking at nearly 10k, I think, but I don't think that's enough. Oh no, SpaghettiOs. And the thing is, I don't have that, you know, blowback, so I don't allow it to shoot. I don't think Permaspike can tank that, especially not around 140. I'm just gonna get a legend to avoid truly dying there. I think it can handle a normal bad, right? Especially since I have a Chinook to possibly move it if it actually is enough damage. Or should I just go for tier 9 now? Oh, it's gonna be so close to popping it. I'm gonna have to move it, yep. Did I move it too late, though? Actually, no, I definitely didn't. No, I did. Crap. Them DTs are way too fast. Unlucky. Well, can always try again, and this time, we can actually go for the tier 9. Alright, Omega Juggernaut, quad shots. Let's get it. And if you take a look at what the next tier does, 125,000. I'm actually running out of money at this point, jeez. Let me just get a goddamn, Banana Central already here. Yeah, 440 damage, holy crap. Minus 0.08 attack speed, and adds reinforced steel, which might be the extra layer we're talking about. So yeah, that skeleton gets pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. Also, I need a Chinook this, don't I? Funnily enough, the tier 9 is not enough to solo, the FBAD, because it leaks the CMG is good to know once again. So surprisingly, I have to admit that this thing isn't as, broken as I initially thought it'd be. Because, like, we've already put 150k in this guy. And this is on a good map, mind you. Also, this time, it seemed to be... Maybe it was the placement. I put it a little bit lower. Yeah, I think this gets a better angle of shooting the, Bloons chasing. Yeah, I know I haven't even given any buffs to this thing yet, like, Overclock, Alk, Village. Because if I did, then I probably wouldn't be saying this, but as a raw tower, as a raw base tower, I feel like there's some pretty fair value. Single turret-wise, at least, because ZMGs are below and are pretty much, like, no threat to us. Seeing how bads are getting pretty far now, I think it might just be time to go for tier 10, which might add even more Juggernaut balls, but honestly, if I beat them faster, it might just cause less lag as opposed to this thing shooting constantly. So let's get it. $125,000. Let's see what we have. Do we have an extra layer? I don't think so. I died actually. Probably because Permaspike couldn't handle all the insides. Unlucky, but what if you start from scratch then? Should be a hell of a lot better. And yeah, the raw damage now is 500. Pretty good. And the next upgrade looks like we get another 500 damage with gold plating. Minus 0.1 seconds per attack down to 0.15. That also adds to the, you know, like the fact that it's shooting at a much higher rate now. And range. We finally got range, boys. This is the biggest win of them all. I can definitely feel, yeah, leg's a bit smoother since it's it stopped shooting because it's doing so much damage. And if you want to slow it down here for curiosity's sake, well, then it looks like we're doing... I'm seeing up to 100,000. That single target bad right there. We must go higher. How about round 80? Looks like bad damage is still looking pretty good. How about round 190? Yep, still pretty decent. In fact, bads don't look like they're going any further than they used to. Also, I forgot to mention that when we upgrade to quad shots, I think quad shots applies to like every layer underneath. So it wasn't just a raw 33% power increase. Because like if you want to do the math, then I guess if we're shooting 3 of the yellow and purple balls, then that means we get 12 of the light blue ones, which then translates to 12 times 4, 48 of the Ultra Juggernaut balls, and then 192 of the mini Juggernauts, yeah. And that's per attack, by the way, so I'm actually kind of surprised that the lag is only this bad. I thought that would have been even worse, the way the numbers are adding up. And the fact that, like, all the projectiles stay on screen until they expire. Unlike, you know, if it wasn't bouncing around walls, then you just leave if it hit, you know, the side of a wall also. I think at this rate, we're not going to be able to beat around 200, seeing how this is getting. So I think it's time for tier 11 very soon. Also, start around 4 to 5 DTs are scary because there's no time for those balls to spawn at all. But yeah, I think it's time. 193. Uh-oh. Permaspike did not handle that. So let's get it. 1,000 damage in gold plating. Do we upgrade a layer? Yes, we do. We now have a gold-plated Ultra Juggernaut, and yep. Oh boy. I think going up that extra layer just increased the lag tenfold. Well, actually quadfold. Because, you know, 4 times the amount of projectiles. Although we're not taking into account the attack speed increase, so yeah. Just 1 or 2 shots there. And yeah, the game needs to slow down a little bit to handle all these calculations going on. But that's a pretty cool concept, honestly. Just more and more layers of Juggernaut balls that have Juggernaut balls inside them. It's kind of like the Bloons, you know? Kind of like how a bad turns into 4 ZMGs, which turn into 64 mobs, which turn into 256 ceramics, so on and so on. Yeah, that's why, folks, they have the Super Ceram modifier in the game. Again, for those who don't know, where ceramics only spawn into 1 rainbow. Otherwise, you would have 256 ceramics turn into, what, 512 rainbows, into 1,000 zebras, into, I think, 4,000 pink balloons. Yeah, could you imagine trying to calculate that? Like, again, mind you, that's only from 2 bads. Did I say 4 ZMGs earlier? I meant 2 ZMGs, but you know what I mean. Likewise, it would have been nice to add that modifier to this mod, because I'm pretty sure these mini Juggernaut balls, like, they probably do nothing. They do 99% of the lag and 0.01% of the damage. I think at this point, we might as well just go for the final tier. We have enough money for it. Although before that, let's skip all the way to round 200. I want to see how quickly we can pop an FBAD here. This thing hasn't even shot at the FBAD, and it's already done halfway, the damage halfway, and should make for an easy cleanup. Nice. We've gone up with so many layers of projectiles at this point that you kind of see the outline of Cornfield, or at least the gaps where the balls can shoot in Cornfield. Just wait a couple seconds and watch the gaps slowly fill in. Yep, there's the last gap filled up. Right over there. And there's round 200 beaten very easily. I don't think I even want to get to the point where Bloons, like, or this tower starts to struggle. Because at that point, again, it will be shooting out, like, way too rapidly. By the way, with a tier 12, we only get a modest 2x damage increase. With extra range as well. Pretty good range. But no more than that, which is good. I think this is probably the most the game can handle while still being at a reasonable enough speed. I say reasonable up until now, where I mentioned earlier if this thing has prolonged shooting periods, I think I have to skip. Yeah, it's gonna handle these 240 F-pads, alright. Let's go another 60 rounds, actually. It's around 300, actually. Seeing how we barely popped that normal bad, I think we die. For sure, right? Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna upgrade to the tier 12. Just to get it over with. I mean, this thing doesn't add any more lag. We're dying to those UMGs, actually. So I see we reach a limit. Rest in peace. Let's give it at least one more go, though. For round 300. Who needs Dark Pure Gun home when you got this thing? Am I right, folks? Not only that, we can also buff this thing, but I definitely don't want to see what would happen if I did buff this thing. The lag is getting so bad at this point that I'm pretty sure I can only test this one round, and then I gotta call it. Here's the F-Bat. I think it's gonna die to the ZMGs. Despite its best efforts, one frame of time, yep. So close. But nonetheless, fun mod and cool concept. There are a couple more additional tiers to different towers in this mod, so stay tuned if you want to see those. Otherwise, yeah, that does it for me. See ya.